Peem Poom train station. Oh, it's like a beam boom. Beam boom. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got that. This is what I eat when my girlfriend is out of town and they stop fully rendering my environment. Wait, what? Yes, goddess. $1. Here you go, goddess. Treat yourself. Came across the word stot in a book and didn't know what it meant, so I looked it up, and the definition said another word for pronk. Am I having a stroke? Stot, another term for pronk. Oh my god, they weren't kidding. 6'5" Australian Terra Chad androgynic has flown to US and bone smash maxed in order to hunt down the ASU frat leader and engage in a mog-off to avenge clavicular after the brutal frame mog incident that took place last week. Shoot me in the face. I just realized that all of this is just Zoolander in real life. Embarrassingly, I have not seen Zoolander yet. But from what I know about that movie, yes. Eating lettuce in the shower with the lights off to experience what it's like to be a gorilla in a tropical storm. What made you desire to feel like a gorilla in a tropical storm? I must ask. I'm curious. An affordable American city with warm weather and good transit would be the best place to live in the country. Boston. 0 out of 3 ain't bad. She said, I think I'll go to Boston. One more episode of My Little Pony, Pop of Valium, Fly to Finland. Fascinated by Applejack's struggles with sexual identity, says Anthony Bourdain from 2012. Hey, he was an OG brony. Shaved my bush and went down a pants size. Looks like a Labubu was gunned down in my bathroom. Okay. Girls, left or right? Girls. Just girls. I thought I was alone at my lab, so I started sobbing loudly, but it turned out I just couldn't see my very short supervisor behind the fish tanks. Box of fish having sex, 5'11" sobbing boy motor, nefarious aquarium rack, 410 boss watching me. What is it? What happened? What has halo hair? I don't know what that means. Won nationals at 13, has halo hair, was the 13th emperor of Egypt. Close enough. Welcome back, King Tut. Liked by, hey, look, she liked it. Have I mentioned on here before that as a child I thought that meant badass because I was trying to use context clues based on who I heard my parents' friends called breaks. The way I learned that it was actually a word people use for lesbians and many people find it offensive was when my teacher was wearing a leather jacket that I thought looked really cool. And you'll never guess what I said. Well, it could be reclaimed, right? Right? Yeah, why not? I'm sure you learned that day, though. you learned real quick what it actually, what the meaning behind it was. Deeply fascinated by this distinctively British genre of photograph. Yeah, it's always British people, isn't it? It's like, you never see shots like this of American weirdos, right? Read online that someone set up a premium rate phone number where callers get charged $3.99 a minute. Then they posted flyers in their neighborhood that said, call this number to report illegal aliens, but the number just puts them on hold with music. So far, they've made $17,000. That's genius. Just, yeah, take advantage of actually stupid people. Men microdose by curiousness by asking what you do for $1 million. Hey, some people think real hard about that shit, and makes you wonder. Under Joe Biden, we had Smiling Friends Season 1, Season 2, and, well, no, Season 3 came out when Trump was president. And Trump is president and Smiling Friends is canceled, so it's all his fault. Unless this meme is actually saying, like, this is me when Smiling Friends Season 1, 2, and 3, I'm smiling, I'm happy, I'm old. And this is me when Smiling Friends canceled. Grumpy, old, withered, terrible, awful. Ideologically, I don't agree with Catholics, but they kind of went off with, every cathedral I've ever seen. It's gorgeous. The design is wonderful. The stained glass, the cross, it goes kind of hard, not gonna lie. The paintings you'd find in these old ass buildings, also they go hard. Another satisfied customer. copper working its wonders. Yeah, you could fit a heatsink on that bad boy. Everyone has culture, dipshit. It came free with your f***ing living with a group of people. It's true, there's a lot of cultures, better get used to living with them. Is so embarrassing, like, here's what's in my balls, I guess. Jesus Christ. Discord betrayed you? Lol, I wouldn't know. I've been self-hosting an open source VoIP server for the past 15 years. It's super low latency and has much better chat tools than whatever your precious Nitro subscription gets you. And as soon as I make even one friend... Pretty shitty how baseline human activities like singing, dancing, and making art got turned into skills instead of being seen as behaviors. So now it's like the point of doing them is to get good at them, and not this is a thing humans do the way birds sing and bees make hives. Yeah, I mean, literally anything humans do can be a skill. Just doing a thing, you are beginning... I think you're looking a little too deep into this, my friend. Mr. Beast has acquired Step, a teen-focused financial app valued at $900 million, in a deal reportedly worth over $1 billion. If you said this guy was evil like 2 years ago, people would try to drone strike your house. Yeah, I mean, I liked Mr. Beast when it was just him and a group of friends doing good stuff for people who need it. And now it's like, hey, let's throw around a couple $1 million or $1 billion. You know, let's f***ing open a goddamn theme park in Saudi Arabia. Fan service in anime wouldn't be bad if it wasn't always happening to middle school girls. If a grown man tripped and fell down the stairs and his pants ripped because of how tight they were over his huge round ass cheeks, and he was like, Kya! That'd be cool. But it's always 12-year-old girl. I don't know if that's quite the sound, the Kya, but you know. I think we should have this anime with grown-ass men. Why do foot fetishes feel politically left-leaning? What are some right-leaning fetishes? Asking for a friend. Philia. I mean, looking at the administration, not too far off. The Nebraska legislature has approved a bill that lowers the minimum wage from $15 an hour to $13.50 for young workers. But f***ing why? Like, is the $2.50, was that really too f***ing much for people to be paying? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Please, let me nuke the futures of the younger generations one more time. This $4,000 MacBook Pro, that's not real, right? There isn't a laptop that exists anywhere that's $4,000, right? Right? I really f***ing hope not. That plays Among Us perfectly smooth at full resolution. Can your gaming computer do this? Maybe. You know, I'm not sure. Among Us is a pretty taxing game. Dude, I can't get over $4,000. That's not real, right? Like, I'm kind of losing my shit right now. People who say friend slop, I assume, are just sad and lonely. No, they probably just joking. Like most people who say gorilla hun or sneed hun. What? Who the f says any of that? Is there a gas leak in your house? That's what I'm saying. Like gorilla. What? What is that? What does that even mean? Just a quick warning. Fella at work reckons we're going to lose gravity for 7 seconds on the 14th of August, resulting in 40 million deaths. Doesn't sound great, to be honest. When Kyle, with crosses around his name, comments, I hope you repent and find God. Jesus loves you, instead of just cutting to the chase and calling me a slur. Yeah, you don't have to put on this whole charade that you like people. You can just be an asshole. Cis coworker. Hey, can I ask you something personal? Incoming bonus question. My favorite male lesbian. I don't know who this is. Haven't seen this tech YouTuber. My car battery died. Friend and I were jumping it, then a middle-aged man came over and offered to help. He somehow managed to melt our jumper cables, then said, okay, well, I'll see you guys, and drove away. Awesome, thank you, kind sir. Day 45, trapped in the CIA torture facility. The agents still haven't found a torture method that doesn't make me moan just a little. Today the director lady told me, I hate you. I f***ing hate you. And when I let out a soft little moan at that too, she screamed. It's impressive they let you keep your phone. Love the glimpse into the beautiful mind that notated this used copy of Moby Dick I got. Call me Ishmael, his name. They figured that one out. Mogged. Hey, you know what? I'll drive that little baby truck any day than that fucking Nintendo 64 car. Probably way safer. If the womb had a window, no one would be able to support abortion. And if my pussy had a moonroof, it would be a 1969 Ford Thunderbird. My friend's moving out of his house due to a rental increase, and he's nailing as many nails into the wall as possible because the law says you can't lose your deposit over that. Hey, you know, if the law's the law, it'll protect you. Well, maybe, hopefully. In high school, we had a bit we called the orb, where at night we put a bunch of glow sticks in a fishbowl in the middle of the road, and if a car slowed down to look at it, our friend would come out from behind a tree in his gorilla suit. You know what? I'm jealous. I wish I did that in high school. Every art piece has politics, dipshit. It came free with your fucking reflection of cultural values. If a show was released today where a disabled girl dominated 90% of fights she was in, was never a love interest to anyone, and actually taught the male protagonist 25% of his combat skill set, they'd call it woke propaganda. Anyway, her name is Toph. I don't know if I said that right, but yeah. No, this show came out like almost 20 years ago. Well, actually, it probably was 20 years ago now. Oh my god. You're gonna punch me? Yeah. Then you're gonna get in trouble for that. Okay. Followed by this frame is one of the hardest things I've seen on the internet this week. What a fucking Chad. Ultimately, I have to be brave. The nihilist penguin is fascist and individualist propaganda. I am the little monkey with the plushie who finally makes friends. I think it's important to ask seemingly dumb and obvious moral questions like, why is cannibalism bad? And evaluate it rigorously, because answers like, it's just disgusting and evil, are not enough, and is the same reasoning used to propagate things like homophobia. My Sukheim Trial Edition finally arrived, one of only 50 copies in the world, only to discover that US Customs had removed all the bubble wrap and physically destroyed the floppy disk. We'll file a report, but literally crying right now. Why the fuck would they do that? What? Like, what? Why do they feel the need to destroy the floppy disk? Oh, the secret plans are on this shit. The Empire is gonna blah blah blah, or well, the U.S. is destroying it. So the rebellion is the plans of something, the Death Star. You know, Star Wars. Showering at night is so sexy and clean and self-care vibes. Showering in the morning is so productivity core, cog in the machine core. Call of Duty removes streamer's skin after homophobic comments. The punishment is a bit medieval, but I appreciate the enthusiasm. Oh, it's one of these little optical illusions. This staircase makes 4 90-degree turns, yet forms a continuous loop that would not be possible in the real world. Yeah. My son is watching his first Winter Olympics. He just said, "Daddy, why don't both teams just ask AI to build the optimal training strategy and vibe code an app to track KPIs?" He's 37 and I'm so sick of him. You gotta get him out of there. You gotta tell him to like find a husband, a wife, or something, dude. I hate my transgender son. I support his gender identity. I just think he sucks for unrelated reasons. Me when I touch grass and go outside of my online feminist theory echo chamber and realize that 90% of people still just straight up hate women. Suburban Minnesota women are dropping hundreds of dollars on food and toiletries for illegals so they don't have to leave their homes. Imagine being married to this. The people constantly whining about how they want a cohesive, high-trust society literally cannot understand it when they see one. Also, imagine being married to someone who gives a shit about people. Lame! Classic games didn't need tutorials. Here's why. I'm older than you, so I can confirm that they came with a little book that had the tutorial in it, and you read it on the way home. Yeah, you ever heard of Hotel Mario? You know, the included instruction book. You know, it's a, well, not just Hotel Mario. You probably don't, half of the people watching this probably have no f***ing idea what that is, but yeah, no, actually, yeah, a lot of games actually just had the controls in the manual. Because, see, video games actually came with this piece of paper. It was like a little mini book, a little booklet, and it actually told you about the game, had like credits in it, told you how to play the game. If you were ever stuck, it had, things were better back then, somewhat. You don't even realize you're being unkind. This is me when you're being unkind and you don't even realize it. It's kind of sad. Bro, Please just upload your ID. We're committed to your privacy. Just one upload. It's really easy, bro. Please just upload it and we'll protect your data. We need this to protect the children, bro. Please. For years, society was limited to only 16 syrup squares per waffle. But with recent combinatorial optimization breakthroughs, our research department has achieved previously unheard of, brilliant. I don't know what the hell I'm looking at right now. S equals 4.675 plus found by John Bidwell in 1997. That's a funny looking waffle. Would you like to download this image as a WebP? It's got better compression and image quality. We don't take WebP upload. We don't take WebP uploads. Can't open WebP. Not compatible with WebP. Just use a JPEG or a PNG. That works too. My cousin joined a polycule that is 4 women and 1 cishet man, and when I referred to her relationship status as woke Mormonism, she called me a reactionary at the beach. Where the is that? You want boing boing. The world you knew no longer exists. This is 2024. Yeah, lots changed since then. I'd feel worse about Xbox going out as sadly as it is, but then I remember them dudes were the ones who taught it was cool to charge us to use our own internet on their consoles, and everybody followed suit. So yeah, rest in piss, you green pieces of shit. We'll see how well the Project Helix does. I think there's like 5 people I've seen that are interested in that. Alyssa Tinder Goth Girl. I thought you said you liked me. You told me you stabbed your last boyfriend. Aw, is someone scared? Yes!